Eamonn Holmes, embarrassed children side with Ruth Langsford after his swipe at her. The GB News presenter, 65, and Loose Women star, 65, split last year after 27 years together. Eamonn Holmes' children are reportedly embarrassed by his behavior and are siding with his ex, Ruth Langsford. The Loose Women star, 65, and GB News presenter, 65, split last year after 14 years of marriage, and he has since moved on with relationship counsellor Katie Alexander, 43. Holmes apparently took a swipe at Langsford by calling Alexander his soulmate at GB News star Nana Akua's engagement party earlier this month. He reportedly added, "In sickness you find out who is there for you." The presenter's children, Jack, who he shares with Langsford, and Declan, Niall, and Rebecca with his ex-wife Gabrielle, are thought to be unhappy with the jibe. All the kids are very upset, hurt and embarrassed by Eamonn's behavior and are tired of the constant pressure of picking sides, a source told Bella magazine. The insider went on, "They've warned him not to make them choose because he might not like the outcome, but he didn't listen." Discussing Holmes' reported dig at Langsford, the source added, "As far as they see it, Ruth isn't the one swanning around with someone new and younger on her arm." This follows similar reports earlier this month claiming Holmes and Niall, 22, had a huge argument after his split from Niall's mother Langsford. Niall and Eamonn had a massive fallout. There was a huge row following his split from Ruth, a source told The Sun. Things were said between them that cannot be unsaid. It must be heartbreaking for Eamonn. Eamonn accused him of siding with Ruth while Niall hit back about his dad's behavior. The Standard has contacted Holmes' representative for comment. The reports come weeks after Langsford finally took off her wedding ring. In a cooking video shared on Instagram, she quietly removed her wedding band after leaving it on for more than a year. In May, Holmes' new girlfriend Alexander shared their first photos together on Instagram amid the broadcaster's health struggles. She posted a reel of a recent loved-up day out with the former This Morning host on Instagram, which was set to the Levelers' song, "What a Beautiful Day." She posed for cozy selfies with Holmes, who was in a wheelchair, and her dog Dottie in the clip, which was captioned, "Lovely weather, lovely company." In May 2024, Holmes and Langsford confirmed they were set to divorce after 14 years of marriage and 27 years together. A spokesperson for the couple said, "Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes have confirmed their marriage is over and they are in the process of divorcing." Holmes has been battling health issues for years after dislodging discs in his back, which he said previously impinged on his sciatic nerve and affected the mobility of his right leg. In March, the presenter told his followers he is in constant pain. He has frequently been pictured either in a wheelchair or relying on walking aids and turned to various therapies to aid his rehabilitation. Eamonn Holmes, embarrassed son, sides with stepmum Ruth Langsford amid bitter divorce. Former This Morning couple, Eamonn Holmes and Ruth Langsford, sent shockwaves through the showbiz world last year when they announced they were heading for divorce. Eamonn Holmes' son Niall is said to be on stepmum Ruth Langsford's side in the wake of his dad's bitter divorce with the Loose Women star. The former This Morning couple, both 65, sent shockwaves through the showbiz world last year when they announced they had called time on their 14-year marriage, leaving their legion of loyal fans in shock. Despite the split, Ruth was still wearing her wedding ring up until recently while keeping a dignified silence. However, Eamonn moved on with relationship counsellor Katie Alexander, 43, last year, which has not gone down well with his kids, according to reports. After the unlikely couple rocked up at an engagement party for one of Eamonn's GB News pals earlier this month, a source claimed the dad of 4, who shares son, Jack, 22 with Ruth, had a huge falling out with his son from his first marriage, Niall, 28. They told The Sun, Niall and Eamonn had a massive fallout. There was a huge row following his split from Ruth. Things were said between them that cannot be unsaid. It must be heartbreaking for Eamonn. Eamonn accused him of siding with Ruth while Niall hit back about his dad's behavior. Meanwhile, another source told Bella magazine that Eamonn's children are embarrassed by his behavior. They claimed, "All the kids are very upset, hurt and embarrassed by Eamonn's behavior and are tired of the constant pressure of picking sides. They've warned him not to make them choose because he might not like the outcome, but he didn't listen." Eamonn is said to have made a dig at Ruth when he attended his colleague Nana Akua's engagement party earlier this month. According to Bella, the veteran presenter gushed that Katie was his soulmate at the glamorous bash in London while also reportedly quipping, "In sickness you find out who is there for you." Responding, a source told the publication Eamonn's children were unhappy with the alleged jibe, as they said, As far as they see it, Ruth isn't the one swanning around with someone new and younger on her arm. Now, often seen in a wheelchair due to his chronic health problems after having a double hip replacement and spinal surgery, Eamonn is said to be leaning on Katie, quite literally. And there seems to be no turning back for the star's ex, who was spotted without her wedding ring for the first time in more than a year after the split. The Loose Women veteran announced her shock breakup with her husband of 14 years last May, and a source told OK that ditching the ring after so long was a significant move on Ruth's part. The source close to Ruth said, "Removing that ring might have been a shock to fans, after she's worn it for so long. But it was the final bit of closure. It was a message to Eamonn and symbolic that Ruth's marriage and that chapter of her life is over. She's closing the door on her past for good. Taking it off as Ruth saying, 'I've moved on, it's all behind me.' She's just desperate to get this divorce out of the way, now. There's no turning back."